Don't get too excited. This is what a human body is supposed to look like. 53 years old. Has not been subjected to the violence of stupid thinking, creating scars and injuries, or tattoos, also due to violence, and piercings, also due to violence. And what else? I want to say that when I'm not too poor and I get a chance to, cook my own food and buy reasonable food and have access to a bathroom, which I kind of have in the last month, that is mine to use only, that I don't have to leave quickly for somebody else. Otherwise, I've had 2 bowel movements so far this morning, and I'd like to have a 3rd one before I leave on a motorcycle trip, where probably for the next few days I'll be inhaling wildfire smoke. I don't have the right kind of mask that I may or may not wear. I'm not vulnerable to asthma issues or coughing a lot, but still it's something I'd like to not add to my health issues, because I would like to avoid the medical system as much as possible, because that's how I do better, medically speaking. If I have access to my own bathroom as a hardworking person who wants to keep exercising their civic duty and be of service in ways that is part of the problem, not part of the solution, not part of the problems, which is what people keep wanting to insist for me to do, and pretend like, oh, you're lucky to have this job where you can be part of the problem with us, because then you belong to an inferior primate species that has been failing and causing the Anthropocene. So recently I've done some work for an employer where they had their first strike one, and I wrote it in an email. I didn't say strike one, but I said, you will now no longer pay me the way you wanted to pay me, which is the way you pay the norm, because I filled out my tax forms a certain way, and it is legal, and I brought it to their attention multiple times, and they still screwed up, breaking tax law, and also showing signs that I can't trust them, that what I have to say doesn't matter to them, and also, that they withdrew taxes that is going to the Canada Revenue Agency, which owes me money, and is also avoiding me to discuss how they owe me money. So this $100 that was withdrawn illegally could be, if we were a human society, if Canada were really followed the rule of law like they claim to, if it wasn't just an illusion, then it would be investigated as a federal crime, related to tax law, but also related to what I filled out, and to be victimized, almost like a hate crime, almost. And it's strange because people think I'm a psycho because I am an Homo sapien, and I know how to communicate, and I know what my rights are, and I know how to advocate for them, and I know how to do it before people screw up and get in trouble and lose me as an employee. Now, I will give them 3 strikes, but chances are their response to this email, if it ever comes, it might not, because the lady that's in charge of this, which has been informed in front of witnesses, don't make that mistake. That's the legal way to do the taxes. You can even make sure before. That's $100 that I could use right now, because, I for sure need a second hotel on my way to my journey. And I don't know if it'll be affordable. Maybe it'll be full of people because of evacuation orders. So that $100 is stolen from me illegally and given to the Canada Revenue Agency that owes me money. So that's not a lot of fun. All I want to do in life is avoid the medical system and be of service to any community that I'm in based on what their needs are, not what they want as a way to facilitate the status quo of the Anthropocene. And again, that could be me making very little income and still being happy to be of service in the right ways. Now, it'd be great at the same time if I can reduce the issues I have with bloating from my irritable bowel syndrome by having a regular bathroom and a place to cook food, and a refrigerator to store it in. That's all I need. I don't need fancy doctors or referrals or operations or specialists. What's even weird recently is I've offered to donate a kidney, and they say, well, when I have a steady situation. And they don't want to discuss what this is or how to help me create it, or when you have somebody to support you through the recovery. What do you mean? Like, you want me to get married or get a girlfriend, or like, that's what you guys are for when I'm in the hospital. You're making sure that I don't leave until I'm recuperated. After that, I mean, I can, if this is really something that's going to happen, like me donating a kidney to this needy young woman in her, mid to late 20s, is I would have my own room like I could with this employer. But this employer, I'm not going to make an effort to keep, because I don't need to donate a kidney when you guys don't know what to do with a donor who's healthy like me, who wants to donate and can afford to lose a kidney. So you're so self-defeating as a proto-society. And this is just me watching everything I've been talking about for years and years just coming to pass. And the news is kind of admitting more climate change now. It's admitting that it's not going to get better in the coming years, it's going to get worse. And yet everybody has affect, like they're not showing the seriousness of what it means to their lives, their kids' lives, the viewers they so supposedly care for. And so it's like it's a species that's disconnecting more and more from reality. So when I'm connected with reality, I get responses like I did when I signed in at the hotel here yesterday. I stop at another one beside Waterslide Park, and I arranged for them to be helpful, because there was a girl in training, and the other girl I think was probably saying, hey, he's not going to be a customer, don't put too much time on this. But she was useful telling me about this Armstrong Inn. And when I show up, it doesn't take long. The guy says, you're different. And I said, yes, I'm an Homo sapien. Congratulations, sir. You've met your first Homo sapien. And then I talk about the operating system, the variety of human thinking tools. I show them some of my physical prowess by doing that, going down on one leg and coming up with my motorcycle gear on. And, connecting with his 5-year-old son, and joking around with his wife that's arriving outside. I have people skills that come out naturally, and I don't have weak self-esteem or weak self-confidence, because I have the life skills to back up my people skills and my social interactions. Now, do I receive any social interactions of quality? Pretty much I don't. And I see that more and more people are living unhealthy lifestyle, choosing also to be like deer in headlights, as the Anthropocene is coming. They'll kind of talk about it, but they won't act as if they believe it, or they understand it, or they're connected to the reality of it. And I know this, and I know it's going to get worse, and this is who you are as a species that has failed, the one I share DNA with, and this is me passing through communities as an Homo sapien. And pretty much none of you are curious enough to get to know me or ask me questions or figure out why I'm different and what that means